Hey everybody, Jeff Reinhart here, LMP and Lancaster Online. Pull up a chair. It's the Huddle, the LL League Football podcast, sponsored by Auto House of Lancaster. Thank you, Auto House, for being on board second year in a row. Appreciate it immensely. 2025 LL League Football, ready or not, it's here. Wow, that was a fast summer, was it not? We're mid-August. HEDAC done, media days done. They were fun. Camp week well underway. Scrimmages on Saturday. Week one prep Monday morning. Oh my! When we last left LL football, LS. What a year they had. They were playing in the state championship in December at Cumberland Valley against Bonner Prendergast. And it was about 6 degrees wind chill, freezing. What a year for LS. Caleb House, Brown, Fleur, Zook. They were fabulous, and they had a great year. 14-1, and they were awesome. So tucked all that stuff away neatly, and we're getting ready for 2025. The podcast is back. I will be with you through the season whenever we're done. Last year it was mid-December. We'll get you a Huddle podcast midweek every week. I wanted to get started this week with a preview, kind of catch you up to speed on what's what, who's where, what's coming. I'm just kind of rip through the sections, give you a nugget or two on the teams. I can't mention every kid on every team, sorry, but I can give you like a who's who. And maybe some predictions sprinkled in here and there, section favorites, just, some expectations coming up for this season, heading into week one, which is coming up quickly. So let's delve into that, shall we? Section 1, Wilson's your defending champ. Bulldogs won their 30th 3-0 section championship last year. That's most in the league. Ended up going to the 6A district final, lost to Harrisburg. Tons of familiar names back for Wilson. Corell Akings, Monty Greer, Michael Glover, stud tight end, all-state kid, E.J. Brownback. We'll see if Mason Young is the quarterback. Please remember his name. He's taken some random snaps. Doug Doms, coach, tip of the cap, 20th year as the head coach. 50th year in the program. Wow. And 196 head coaching wins. 4 more for Mr. Doms, and he hits the 200 club. Bulldogs, don't miss them. They're going to be tough. Manheim Township, they lost a bunch. Multiple all-state kids. They got a lot to do on the offensive line. That will be a revamped area for the Streaks. They lost Declan Clancy, who had an amazing career for them. Some kids coming back. Remember this name, Jack Kneff will play quarterback. All-star stud baseball kid. He'll be at the reins now of Township spread. Jack Kneff, name to remember. Township at Wilson week 10. I got to believe that's for the section title again, maybe. We'll see if Township can plug some holes. This was my fun Township nugget. We send questionnaires out to all the coaches over the summer just to, get a look at their team, key kids back, key newcomers, etc. Township coach Mark Evans, under key newcomers, listed 27 kids. 27 who were like, newbies, but kind of ready for varsity. 27. Some teams in the county, in the league, would do a lot to have 27 total. Township has 27 newcomers on top of the key kids coming back. Streaks at Wilson in week 10. Circle it. Cedar Crest, back-to-back playoff trips. If somebody's going to challenge Wilson and Township, I think it will be Crest again. I expect their defense to be ahead of their offense. Garrett Starry's back. Landon Klein are back. They each had 100 tackles at linebacker last year. Wyatt Fox is back off the edge. Luke Oriole is back at DB. He had 6 picks last year. Isaiah Zimmerman's back to run the ball. He had 1,500 yards rushing as a sophomore last year. So they'll need a new quarterback. But I think Crest can challenge and definitely be there for a district spot again. Falcons. Hemfield, back in the playoffs last year, had that kind of up and down weird 2023 retool. Went back to districts last year, lost to Cedar Crest in the first round. I know, but they made the playoffs. Quarterback Derek Catch, 2,000-yard passer last year, returns to lead the offense. Did lose Charles, the receiver of the year, and Margison. Those guys were solid home run threat flank guys, so they must be replaced. But Catch is an excellent start coming off a 2,000-yard passing season. Don't sleep on Hemfield. Penn Manor, new coach. That will be a theme here. Jordan Clark, first-year coach for Penn Manor, steps in for John Brubaker. Brew, 10 years at Penn Manor, 20 years at Manheim Central before that. We're going to miss Brew on the sideline, but Jordan Clark comes in. He's a northern PA guy, District 4, up above Williamsport, Towanda, up that area. He's been at Township the last couple of years on Mark Evans' staff. He takes over, installed a air raid offense. Interesting. Haven't seen an air raid for a while. A lot of spread. But he's calling it air raid. Connor Smy, quarterback, is back. He'll have some new skill kids around him, and they'll need some help along the line. We'll see if Penn Manor can hang with the big boys in this section under Mr. Clark. Reading, retool year for the Red Knights. They lost some big guys up front, lost some skill kids. Kamara's back to run the ball. Ply Laharn is back to play quarterback, but from all indications, kind of a retool. I hate to say rebuild, but let's call it a retool at Reading. See if they can climb their way up the charts with some new guys. And McCaskey. Hello, Todd Mealy. Welcome back, sir. Former longtime Penn Manor coach, Lancaster Catholic coach. He's written books. He's published. He has his PhD. Fantastic guy. And just a whiz of a coach. Came back to teach at McCaskey, was away from the game for 5 or 6 years. McCaskey kind of talked him out of retirement, if you want to call it that. And he's back coaching this year. I'll use the word retool again. Tornado's going to have a bunch of new guys. Only a few returners there on the sheet. So they're breaking in a whole bunch of new guys coming off a 2-win season with a new coach. Be patient, McCaskey. When we heard Mealy got the job, the expectations went up, but this is not going to happen overnight. Breaking in new kids, they got to learn his stuff. And McCaskey's playing 10 road games this year. The Barney Yule complex, Tornado Alley, they're redoing the stadium. So McCaskey's going to play 10 road games. 4 of them, I think, are going to be played at Lancaster Catholic right across the street. So McCaskey will be the home team, quote unquote. But they got 10 away games this year while they finish off the stadium, which we're looking forward to seeing. Welcome back, Coach Mealy. That's going to be a lot of fun. Section 2, Conestoga Valley is your defending champs. Bucks had a magical 24, started 11-0, won their first section title since 2006. Lost to Exeter in the 5A district quarters, so they'll be motivated. Did lose some guys, especially up front, that they'll need to replace, but some familiar names. Sawyer Espenchade's back, a 2,000-yard passer. He's really good. Tegan Rubel's back to run the ball. Jojo Garcia, Connor Fisher, Cordell Bear. A lot of that receiving core is back for Sawyer Espenshade, so that will be a plus. CV Exeter Week 9 in Whitmer. Circle at Exeter. Went to the district finals last year after beating CV in the quarters. Eagles ended up losing to Bishop McDevitt in the championship. McD ended up winning the PIAA 5A state title. Exeter loses some guys, and everybody loses guys, but they lost some thumpers. But they have familiar names. Riley Martinez is back at quarterback. He missed multiple games last year with an injury, still threw for 1,000 yards, but he's back healthy, knock on wood, to play quarterback. Jaden Ware is a really good hands kid on the flanks. Aiden Dauble's back. Joel Amarino's back. Those guys will stick you. So I think Exeter's going to be pretty good. Probably put the preseason bullseye on Exeter. They beat CV in districts, went to the district final. They'll be motivated. They have to go to CV in week 9. Circle that one. Ephrata, coming off a 6-4 season, and the year before they were in the district finals, don't forget. And they might have been the first team out in 5A districts last year. I think they were the bubble team and just missed out. Austin Bryant's back on the flanks. Chase Prang, the linebacker of the year in Section 2, returns. Dustin Hoover, another hard-nosed linebacker kid, returns. They're going to need a new quarterback, a new feature back now that Brown is gone. I have a feeling about Ephrata. I don't know why. I know they only have 4 home games, and they have a new QB. But I think Ephrata will find a way to be there. Will they beat Exeter and CV? Not sure. But I think Ephrata can definitely be in the mix to get back to the postseason. Mounts, keep an eye on them. E-Town new coach, Tom Bachman. Welcome aboard. He is a Schuylkill Valley guy, played at North Schuylkill, was coaching at Blue Mountain. He got the E-Town job. Hashtag above the line. Remember that. That's the new slogan, the new motto at E-Town. That was his motto at Blue Mountain. Getting the kids involved, being good teammates, being good in the community, being good students, team camaraderie, team morale. He's really big on that stuff. And so far over the summer, I've seen a lot of social media stuff with E-Town, and the kids are really involved in the community. And that's really good for chemistry and all that good stuff. Gannon Shank, quarterback, is back. Tom Bachman, new coach. See how that goes in E-Town. Governor Mifflin, playoff team last year, but a bit of a retool. They lost some big guys up front. 2 names to know. LeBron Leaf. He was like a slot kid, running back type in their Revere last year. Averaged over 10 yards a carry. He can run. Looks like he'll play quarterback. He'll take snaps. Remember the name Chris Susanna. I think he's due for a breakout season running the ball out of their triple option stuff. Never count out Mifflin. Retool, maybe. But you got to believe that the Mustangs are going to be there one way or another. Lebanon. Brett Silv, interim coach. He took over back in the spring. Coach Pritchett left. He took a college job down in Georgia. So Brett's the interim guy. I have not really checked in this summer to see if he's the full-time guy or how that's going to go quite yet. He was at Media Day, so we're calling him interim now, but he'll be at the helm here as Lebanon tries to snap this very maddening 42-game losing streak dating back to 2020. Oh my. And if that's not enough to be dealing with construction at Alumni Stadium in Lebanon, Cedars will play 10 road games. Oh my, just like McCaskey, 10 away games for Lebanon. They'll have 2 neutral sites for home games. They have a game at Northern Lebanon in week 1, and they have a game at Anvil Cleona, I want to say week 6, a Saturday morning game against Conestoga Valley. But yeah, Lebanon, interim coach, losing streak, 10 road games. Keep your fingers crossed for the Cedars. This has got to end at some point. Yeah. Muhlenberg, what a season they had last year. Kept everybody honest. Snuck into that Eastern Conference big school championship game, and they shut out William Allen to win that. So gave him a lot of mo and confidence going into this season. Cameron Small is back, 2,000-yard rusher last year. And overall, just a a ton back. I was impressed with their key players returning list, coming off a postseason win, and the Mules get 8 home games. Last year they had the turf problem at their stadium, and they had to flip-flop and play all those road games, remember? This year they get 8 at home. 2 of the first 3 are on the road. They play 7 home games in a row to finish the season. 6 of them are the Section 2 games. Wow. Home cooking for the Mules. They might be my sleeper team. They have a lot back, and Cameron Small can really run the ball. Section 2 should be fun. Let's put Exeter and CV at the top for now, see how it plays out. Section 3, Conrad Weiser was the champ. Scouts went 10-0, won their first LL Section Championship. Lost to Bishop McDevitt in the 5A playoffs in the quarters after getting a bye. Great year, 10-0, and then they got wiped out by graduation. Weiser has four starters coming back. So a lot of new faces in Weiser camp. New quarterback, new skill kids, new line kids. We'll see how Weiser does the retool. Let's use that word again. But it looks like the Scouts are in retool mode after losing a lot of heavy hitter guys off the section title team. Cocalico, 2-year reign over D3 5A ended, but the Eagles did get back, won a playoff game, and then they lost to Mechanicsburg in the quarters. My fun Cocalico nugget, the Horning brothers, Dane Horning, 1,200-yard rusher, fullback kid, really good linebacker. Logan Horning was a freshman last year. He had almost 100 tackles in his breakout 9th grade season. And there's another Horning, Connor, who's trying to be the quarterback, along with Jackson Keffer. Those 2 guys were going to go into the scrimmage, battling it out for QB duties to run Cocalico's flex bone. Never, ever count out the Eagles. They will find a way to be there, even with a new QB. Fleetwood, they took some grad hits. They lost 16 starters total. That's a bunch from a team that was at the bottom of this race in the section. QB Chase McMonagle is back, 1,300-yard passer last year, but he lost a bunch of really good wide receiver guys. I'm not going to say the R word again, but Fleetwood's got some catching up to do in this really, really rugged section. Garden Spot, Sparty Nation. They played 9 games last year, remember? That was frustrating. And then they were going to try to play Penn Manor on like a Tuesday in week 9 or something crazy. They added a 10th game this year. So breathe easy, New Holland. Your team is going to play 10 games. They added Bristol from Bucks County. Later on in the season, road trip. Garden Spot's got to go to Bristol in like week 7 or something. New QB, Seth Musselman, who's taken some snaps in the past. Another name to remember, Andrew Pemberton, playmaker kid, special teams guy, busted 2 kicks for touchdowns last year. I think he will be a name you should hear a lot coming out of New Holland this year. Spot will challenge. They'll challenge. Mannheim Central. Yeah, they went 3-7 last year. First time in a full season, not including the COVID year, that Central had a losing season since 1971. I was two. It's been a while. Just a weird year for Central. So they're on like a redemption tour. And I'll tell you, Coach Hahn, when I looked at his list of kids coming back, there's a lot of familiar names on there. They have a lot of kids coming back. Javier Morales, Cody Hess, Logan Geib, some line guys. Keep an eye on Logan Capel. See if he gets some snaps behind center. That's like the premier position in the LL League, at least in Lancaster County for years and years and years and years since I've been doing this. Who's the quarterback at Mannheim Central? Remember that name, Capel. We'll see if he gets the snaps. Johnigan returns. He took some snaps last year. Gut hunch, Barons will not go 3-7 again. Will they go 10-0 and win the section? Don't know. But they'll be better, and they'll be back. Solanco, Insert bullseye here. Golden Mules are loaded. They bring back pretty much the house. They lost a couple of kids. Chase Sentenig is back at quarterback. He took a bunch of snaps last year. Johnny Garcia's back. He's approaching 3,000 career rushing yards. Speed, and more speed. Burgos Wise is back. Anderson's back. I'm going to miss names here, I know, but just their speed back guys, Foreign. And Foreign's also the reigning DB of the year in Section 3. Solanco stacked, including linemen. So definitely bullseye here going in. They play LS in the Milk Jug in week 1 at LS, which should be great. That could be a tone setter for both teams. But I really like Solanco here. Talked to all their guys at Media Day, and the scuttlebutt when the Section 3 teams were here was, Solanco has a lot of guys back. They're going to be tough. Agreed. Keep an eye on the Mules. Warwick, stingy defense last year. Top 5 in the league, maybe in D. With some good defensive kids coming back. Vinny Bagonis, nose guard, was an all-star. Bodie Madera in the secondary was really good. And I like their line as well. 2 guys to circle, Wes Brunken and Calvin Dent. O-line plugger guys. And Thomas Myers is back at quarterback. So if they can run the ball a little bit, they're going to play really good D and kind of keep teams down. So if Warwick can discover some kind of an offense this year and finish drives, look out for them. Keep an eye on Warwick, pretty please. Section 4, LS, as mentioned last year, wow. Section champ, district champ, PIAA finals. Lost to Bonner in December, but 14-1. And then they lost a bunch, let's be honest. They lost some really good guys. Mentioned House, who was the player of the year in 4A. 1,000 rush, 1,000 pass. What do you have, like 5 pick sixes? Something bananas. He was amazing. So new quarterback, you probably know the name, Asher Jones. He was House's backup. Got plenty of snaps. 3 names to know at LS. Boom. Colin Shelley and Thad Wolf, who are monster O-tackles. Both blue chip guys, and Wolf, I think, is only a junior. And Peter Fiorello, the kicker, all-state kicker last year. He was incredible. Game-winning kick against YO in districts championship. Go-ahead field goal, I want to say, or like a really meaningful gotta-have kick against TJ in the state semifinals. Fiorello's back again. He scored 100 points as a kicker last year, which is unbelievable. LS, I'm not quite ready to put the bullseye on them. They did lose quite a bit, and there's some good teams behind them here who are going to be pretty dynamite. Daniel Boone, Retool, Hayden Moyer, quarterback, back again, 1,500-yard passer, shifty, makes plays on his feet. We'll see if Boone can cause some headaches. Donegal coming off a 1-9 season with injuries everywhere. It was a mash unit at Donegal last year, and it got to the point where you just kind of felt bad for him. They were playing with roster numbers in the 20s. I think, this is off the top of my head, but I think they had like 8 guys get hurt in one game. In the Twin Valley game, they had to say, we're done. They didn't come back out for the third quarter. So bad year in the injury department for Donegal. Those guys are itching for some revenge and just to be better and not be hurt. So we'll see if Donegal can keep guys on the field. If they do, they're going to cause some headaches. Elko, a playoff win again last year. Raiders just find a way to get in the postseason. They're in this incredibly tough Section 4. They kind of survive it, hold their own, leak a little oil, but then find a way late, and they make a playoffs. And they did last year, and they beat Octorara in the first round. So good on them. Paul Williams, another Williams, 4th of 5 Williams brothers, is back. Paul, D-end, really good. He'll blitz you and chase you down. Their defense is going to be pretty good. Keep an eye on Elko. Northern Lebanon, Brady Ryan's back. Really good 2-way kid, 3-way kid. He's great in special teams. I think he popped 2 punt returns for touchdowns last year, I want to say. They're going with a new kind of a spread look, but the Vikings are breaking in an entirely new offensive line. I think they have one kid who played a little bit last year. So a whole new O-line at Northern Lebanon. Be patient. Tough section. New kids. Keep your fingers crossed for the Vikes. We'll see how they do with a revamped line. Octorara made the playoffs last year. Again, they're like Elko. They just took some punches, but came out the other end okay, made playoffs. The big switch here for Octorara, Colin Wood, who was their really good sophomore option guy, dual threat quarterback last year, got hurt during wrestling. He's out. Mason Proke, the javelin guy, who went to the Nationals in Oregon this summer. He's going to play quarterback. Big dude, big strapping guy with a big right arm, obviously throwing the jab. So he's going to take snaps. So keep an eye on Octorara. Okay, Twin Valley. Wow. They've been so good here. 3 straight District 3 semifinal appearances, but they lose some guys. They lost some thumper guys up front. They lose Evan Myers, the 5,000-yard passer. But Drew Engel is back. Remember Drew, sophomore year, 2 years ago? Rushed for 1,600 yards. A great lacrosse player who's going to go play lacrosse in college. Missed pretty much all of last year with an injury. He's back. To play tailback, and he's really good. And Twin Valley returns just enough guys around him. Look out. I don't think they're going to dip much at Twin Valley, despite some grad hits. Why am I missing? Okay. If you're looking for a bullseye, I think we got to go Spartans here. They lose the section race to LS. They lost to LS in week 10, snapped Wyo's really long home winning streak. And then Wyo gets that 80-yard touchdown run late in the fourth quarter to take the lead against LS in the district final. And then House makes the play of the year on the 4th down scramble, gets the first down, and LS comes back and wins that game. But Wyo's got a lot back. Oh, my. Eisenhower, Nadrowski, Justice Hardy, who's one of the best players in the state as a junior. A bunch in the line. They have their kicker back. I think Wyo's got to get the bullseye here in Section 4, and they should be motivated after falling twice to LS last year. Will the Pioneers be good again? Yes. Will Twin Valley be good again? Yes. But Wyo, with 6 home games and all of this talent, bullseye Spartans. Section 5, Anvil Cleona. Missed out on the playoffs last year after back-to-back trips, and then they lose Jonathan Shea, who's one of the best kids to ever come through Anvil All-State. He was amazing. Keep an eye on Lane Peters. Looks like he'll be the quarterback in their veer option stuff. I think the Dutchman can challenge. They have some line guys back and some kids who have played on Friday nights. Do not sleep on AC. Berks Catholic. New quarterback, yes, but they have multiple skill kids back, kids who have run the ball. And they have Eric Bentham, they have Damani Douglas, and they have Palmer Reber, who's the offensive lineman of the year in Section 5 last year. They have some hosses back up front, big time. So I think Berks can beat you up on the line of scrimmage. But new QB, running that wing T stuff. So keep an eye on Berks Catholic. I was this close to putting the bullseye on them. I really was. I think they're going to be good. Columbia looking to snap an 11-game losing streak dating back to 2023. New coach in Columbia, Nate Bagley. Covered him at CV. He's been around. He's coached at LS. He's coached at CV. He's coached at Ephrata. Really good guy, and he has the keys to Columbia's program now. Going through a bit of a downer, but hearing they had 30-plus kids heading into camp, which is a good number for them, including Cam McClare, quarterback, started as a freshman. He's back again for his 3rd year under center. We'll see if the Tide can snap this losing skid. Hamburg, new coach Tyler Hartraft. former assistant at Hamburg. He's been around. He took over last winter. Isaac McFadden, incoming freshman, works with Henny and Contafio and that crew. Big expectations for that young man. Isaac McFadden. Don't forget his name. Looks like he has a pretty bright future. Hamburg can push. Kutztown, they have some good playmakers back. I jotted down a few names. Ryan Walters, who can get the ball in any number of ways, catching it, return game. Ian Barr's back. Wyatt Stose, who took snaps last year, returns. Kutztown's just kind of stuck in this section where it's kind of top heavy. But they always give everybody trouble. And I think 5 games last year, they lost by 7 points or less, which is a mind bender. We'll see how Kutztown hangs this time again. Lancaster Catholic, District 3 2A runner-up last year. Brandon Way is back, the Villanova commit, 1,800-yard rusher last year. He's coming up on 3,000 career rushing yards. Dynamite player. Do not miss Brandon Way in your travels. Will run the ball. Great DB, return game. He's everywhere. New QB for the Crusaders. They have a great game in week 1 against Camp Hill, who they beat in the district semifinals last year. Catholic will be there. They have the horses, even with a new quarterback. Pequea Valley, what a season last year for those guys. They went to the Eastern Conference 3A game. I know they lost to Tamaqua, but it was the first time in the history of the program, dating back to 96, that they went and had a postseason game. They had a week 11. So good on those guys. Mike Choi was the coach of the year in Section 5. Don't miss Drew Tibbins, fullback, linebacker guy. You know him from Linville Hill basketball with that co-op. He's their point guard. He'll be back in basketball this winter, but he's a really good football player too. PV. We'll see if they can get to that 5-win mark again and maybe go back to the postseason. Schuylkill Valley, back-to-back section champ. They won it outright last year. They have a bunch back on the O-line. 5 of their 6 top O-linemen from last year are back. Got to have an O-line. And if you have an O-line in smallish section 5, that's a great head start. So having 5 skilled O-line guys up front back is a huge head start for the Panthers. New quarterback, Alex Alatras, probably he took some snaps last year. Logan Kamoff had 193 tackles last year. Wow. He's back to run the ball and to play backer. I have the bullseye on Schuylkill Valley. I think Catholic will be there. I think Berks Catholic can be there. But they're the champs. They went to the District 3A semis last year. New quarterback, okay, and they lost some receiver guys. But I'm going to go bullseye, Schuylkill Valley. So bullseyes. Section 1, I'll go Wilson. Section 2, I'll go Exeter. Section 3, I'll go Solanco. Section 4, I'll go Wyo. Section 5, I'll go Schuylkill Valley. All right, I think I wedged as much in there as I possibly could. There's your season preview. Should be fun. When I was sitting here last August, did I know LS was going to go to the state championship game? No, I picked them 3rd in Section 4 last year, and they won the section and the district and went to the state finals. So no clue. I have no idea how this is going to pan out. Somebody will probably come out of the pack and make a very deep run into December. And I'm sure a lot of these kids that I mentioned will have monster years and be all state, and it'll be a great season. So I will be documenting, again, the podcast every week. We have the 3 facts post every morning. I've been cranking that out for about 2 weeks. 3 fun nuggets every morning. We'll get the week 1 stuff started next week. We'll have the show coming back. The roundtable show that'll start next week. Be on the lookout for that. I'll have you covered for all things LL football moving forward. Stay tuned. The Huddle, the LL football podcast. We are sponsored again by Auto House of Lancaster. Thank you to that crew. I'll get you a week 1 podcast midweek next week. Stay tuned for all things 2025 LL League football. Talk to you soon.